Good day all and welcome to Anatomy Simplified. So for today's lesson, I'm going to be sharing with you tips and tricks on how to remember the 12 cranial nerves. These cranial nerves can be classified as peripheral nerves, but they are actually extensions of the central nervous system. And so for cranial nerves 1 and 2 specifically, these ones are not going to have any nuclei within the brainstem itself because they are going to bypass the brainstem and attach to specific parts of the cerebral cortex. For the olfactory nerve, specifically cranial nerve number 1, that is going to connect to the cerebrum via the site of the entorhinal cortex, and that's contained on the medial aspect of the temporal lobe of the cerebrum. Whereas for the cranial nerve number 2, the olfactory nerve, that is then going to go via the olfactory tracts to the posterior aspect of the cerebrum, namely the primary visual cortex. Okay, so we've got 12 like I mentioned, and these have different names that relate to the function. So olfactory, short for olfaction. So it's going to help with smell. It's a special sense, and that is cranial nerve number 1. Number 2 relates to sight, so that is our optic nerve. Then number 3 as well is also going to relate to sight, but more of a motor, more motor in nature. So that's oculomotor. Then trochlea. So we think of the eye again, and a structure called the trochlea by which one of our oblique muscles are going to traverse through. So that's the trochlea, also related to the eye. Then we've got trigeminal, so tri meaning 3. This is a mixed nerve that has both sensory and motor fibers, and that is then going to bring innervation to various parts of the face. And yeah, for interest sake, the trigeminal nerve develops from the first pharyngeal arch during development, and so structures that also arise from the first pharyngeal arch, such as the mandible and the masticatory muscles, will then all be innervated by the trigeminal nerve as an example. So in this example, I only refer to the mandibular division, but note that there are ophthalmic and maxillary divisions, and these are covered in of our other videos. Yeah, then the facial, cranial nerve number 7, so that's going to then bring innervation to specifically the muscles of mastication, but it's also going to have sensory functions. Acoustic, you can refer to it as acoustic, but the word vestibulocochlear is more specific because it tells you that this sensory nerve is going to have innervation on 2 specific sites in the ear region, so the cochlea and the vestibular region. So it's not just going to help with hearing, but it's also going to have an important role in balance. Then we've got the glossopharyngeal, so by now everyone should know where the pharynx is located. So the top part, glossopharynx, so glosso referring to the tongue, and then pharyngeal, so that gives us an indication of where this nerve is going to act on, and this is also a mixed cranial nerve. Then vis vagus, so this one is far-reaching. It goes, it runs through a large part of the body, up to the lungs and the heart and so forth. And so the vagus nerve also is a mixed fiber accessory, also referred to as the accessory spinal nerves, and you will see why later on. That is cranial nerve number 11, and then number 12, hypoglossal again. So that means the nerve that we can find at the posterior aspect of the tongue. So there's various mnemonics that we can use to remember these, and I've given you one of such. So this one reads, oh, once taken the anatomy final, all good vacations are helpful. You can use your own mnemonic to help you remember, especially since if you notice the first 3 cranial nerves all starts with the letter O. So I've got this beautiful image on the right side of a person with alopecia, And if you remember the word alopecia, the consonants in the word itself is going to give you an idea of which cranial nerve is first, second, or third. So that's going to give you another clue. So we know that the first three is O, so the first one of those three is going to be OL for olfactory, second OP for optic, and then third OC for oculomotor. And then again, I've got a mnemonic that shows or that can help you remember which of these cranial nerves are sensory in nature. So which cranial nerves is going to relay information from the external environment and take it to the central nervous system, and then which is motor, which are going to act on to the muscles to make the response possible. And also, which of those has a dual function in the body itself. So again, the mnemonic that we give you in lectures as guides, you are free to make your own mnemonic as well. Okay, so for cranial nerves, other than Arabic numbers, we use Roman numerals. And you have seen that the Roman numerals have various letters. So for the purpose of cranial nerves specifically, we will focus on the Roman numerals I, V, and X, having the values of 1, 5, and 10 respectively. So how this works is like basic mathematics, where you cannot have three consecutive I's next to one another. So then for numbers 1, 2, and 3, you can say I for 2 and triple I for 3. But then for 5, you're going to say 1 minus V. So when the lesser value is on the left side, you deduct from it. And when the lesser value of the 2 is on the right side, you add on to it. So naturally, 4 is not going to be IV because it's going to be 5 minus 1. Minus being on the left side of 5. Then 5 is going to be V, 6 is going to be VI, and remember the rule again, we don't want more than 3 I's next to one another. So for 7 we can say VII, for 8 we can say VIII, but then for 9 again we're going to look at the next bigger number. We're going to see that 10 is the next bigger number, so naturally we're going to minus from 10. So then we're going to say that 9 is IX, 10 is X, and 11 is xi, because if the lesser value is on the right, again we add for it. And then for number 12, finally, that is going to be abbreviated, or it's going to be indicated as the letters XII. So I hope that everyone is with me and everyone is going to understand. So if you answer a question in a test, then try to remember the name of the cranial nerve itself and then the Roman number that signifies the cranial nerve. And it's also important that we use cranial nerves because for certain cranial nerves, such as the trigeminal, for example, to indicate the various branching of the trigeminal, we then use the Arabic numbers. So remember, if you see CNV with underscore 3, it's going to be, it can read, or it should read, in your mind it should register as cranial nerve number 5, the third division. Or CNV underscore 2 would be cranial nerve number 5, the second division, which is the maxillary division, or CNV1, which is the ophthalmic. So that is why we use a combination of Roman and Arabic numerals in anatomy. Okay, so over here I've got a beautiful visual aid. This is not my own intellectual property, but this one is widely used within anatomy to help students remember the actions, or which nerves actions onto what structures. And what I want you to notice is that for structures such as the eye, there's quite an intense nerve supply to the eye, because the eye doesn't just have muscular function, it's also a special sense. So you see that for the eye specifically, or in the region of where this caricature has the eye, there's the numbers 2, 1, 3, 4, and 6 as well. So the nerve supply to the eye is quite extensive. Then for the tongue, we see numbers 9, 10, 12, but then there's also 7 and 5. And these are going to be the various nerves that are going to act on the tongue to make movement of the tongue possible, to help with taste and other special senses as well. 8 is the vestibulocochlear, or the acoustic, and so we know that this cranial nerve is going to action onto structures of the ear to make the balance and hearing possible. On the left side, you can clearly see the cranial nerve, again the trigeminal, and I always focus on trigeminal because in dental studies, this is going to be the nerve that you are going to study in great depth, and you're going to see it for every consecutive year, especially if you move on to your clinical subjects. So I did make a video where I went through the various branches of the trigeminal nerve itself, so I'm not going to cover that right now. I just want you guys to notice that for the trigeminal nerve, cranial nerve number 5, there are 3 branches, whereas for cranial nerve number 7, there are 5 branches. And the 5 branches you can make up again your own mnemonic, but I quite like this one because it has a nice ring to it. To Zanzibar by Motorcar. You can also, again, make your own mnemonic.